beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Popping can is swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart and the struggle, we dare to dream. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud, spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Popping can is swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
It's the one and only queen of receipts, the dropping gems in these YouTube streets. The lawyer Royce, nowhere to go. Tune in for the infamous morning show, giving the news that you need to know. So don't you dare miss a wake-up call. Then in the evening, I got all for y'all. Eat your dose of daily vitamins. You know the queen makes it make sense. So true.
All right. Hello, everyone. Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay? So hello, Queen Imoni Huey is in the house. Easy. Anita Harrell, Juju is here. All right, LeVar is in the house. Matthew. Okay, let's get into it. Everybody hit that like button. Thank you in advance. Mike is here. Alice. All right, Gordon. Okay, so it looks like they put you all's names back to their original states. So that's good. Claudette Moore, Nessie X, Sandra. All right, let's get into it. DJ Big Six. Okay. Everybody hit that like button. All right. So shout out to all my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. Y'all know I love me some royals. All right. Winter Blessing is in the house. Winter Blessings. Okay. So let's get started. But before we do, let's have a brief word from our sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget to purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. And by the way, she has a lovely beard oil for the men. Okay, so with that all being said, let's get into it. Okay, let's get into it. Now, first things first, we have a myriad of things to talk about today, beloveds. A myriad of things. So I'm going to share my screen first because yesterday, it was reported that Nicole Westmoreland came out and said that, in fact, they had reached out to Trump. I told you all that was not accurate. And I also brought up the fact that she said it was to her understanding, which makes it seem like it was something she was simply told and she wasn't quite sure. So now that has been proven. Okay, that has been confirmed. As you can see, this is an exclusive from People, a credible source that came out on yesterday. Diddy's legal team didn't request a pardon from Trump, but others in his circle did. Now, see, I told you all that the other day. Didn't I tell you all that it was reported that it was people in his circle, associates, friends, and whatnot? Okay, but anyway, and I don't even believe that. But anyway, here's what they say. Multiple insider sources tell People that Sean Combs' legal team did not reach out to President Trump for clemency, though others in his orbit did. Okay, so Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer, Nicole Westmoreland, said it was to her understanding that they had reached out to President Donald Trump's administration about a pardon for the rapper in an August 5th interview. However, sources tell People that his legal team did not make such contact. Okay, so I told you all that already. So I just wanted to say, I told you so. Please pay attention. Okay, they don't call me the queen of receipts for nothing. Okay, y'all gonna learn. Okay, despite other narratives being pushed, people talking about, oh, I reported 8-9 months ago that they reached out, that Diddy was begging for a pardon. Oh, yeah, I said it first. Girl, sit down somewhere. Wrong again, but let me continue. Now, that all being said, let's talk about Diddy's plans, honey, because Diddy said he's coming back with a vengeance. Did y'all hear about it? Yeah, Diddy said he's going to be performing at the Madison Square Garden Sunday for his comeback. Let's get into it because that's what his attorney said. All right. Everybody hit that like button. I mean, it's the least you guys can do. Okay. It's the least you can do. So let's talk about it. Now, this is reported from TMZ. It's reported from several outlets, but we'll start with TMZ. Diddy's post-release plans, MSG or bust. So Diddy isn't done with the stage, and he's already planning a huge comeback performance at Madison Square Garden after his prison release, at least according to his lawyer. Diddy's lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, sat down with Jerrica Duncan for his first interview since the highly publicized trial. Okay, and they say when he opened up, he talked about Diddy's post-release plans. Okay, so with that all being said, let's see if we can go to this clip here. I'm going to have to use an overlay because I don't need any copyright issues. And this lovely young lady, I actually, hold on. I actually met her at the trial. Okay, why is it telling me to log into Instagram? Good Lord. See this post, sign up to see. Oh, sign up or log in to CBS Mornings. Okay, well, guess we won't be seeing that because I don't have time to do all that. But anyway, I'll tell you what he said nonetheless. Okay, so Agnifilo starts off by saying that Diddy's looking forward to being reunited with his family and taking care of his mother. But then the high-profile defense attorney spills on one of Diddy's post-release career goals. He says he's going to be back at Madison Square Garden. That's what Agnifilo said, and I'll be there to see it. Okay, so what y'all think about that, honey? Diddy said he's getting up out of there. Can't stop, won't stop, okay? He's going to be right back up and at it. What do y'all have to say? Anything? Any questions, comments, or snide remarks? I know some people are going to be so mad and so hurt. They don't want to see Diddy ever make a comeback, okay? That's what they don't want to see, honey. That's what they don't want to see. Hold on, I could have sworn that I had this clip. I think I actually do. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Okay. Anyway, let me just log in, okay? Just so we can see this. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. And also, listen, we have some information about Ghislaine Maxwell, too. Okay, Trump is still sitting up here lying, acting like he did not talk to Todd Blanche to find out exactly what's going on with her. Okay, I find it also interesting. 03645 acting like he has not talked to Tom Blanche and gotten the whole inside scoop. Okay, saying he doesn't know really what was discussed. Right, and then acting like he didn't even know that she was transferred to a much more cushy prison. But this is only days after she sat down and talked with Tom Blanche. Okay, I'm gonna need Trump to stop lying. Okay, that's all he does is just lie. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can get in here now. All right. I'm going to share my screen.
With his mother and the people who love him and miss him.
So he's talked to you about getting back into music if he's released?
No. Honestly, he has not.
Okay.
One thing he said when he's going to be back in Madison Square Garden.
He said that.
He did. He said to me he's going to be back in Madison Square Garden.
Doing what?
I guess being on stage. You know, I mean, and I said I'll be there. Kids and get back with his mother and the people who love him and miss him.
So he's talked to you about getting back into music if he's released?
No. Honestly, he has not.
Okay, so you all heard that. That was his lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo. Okay, so Diddy said he's going to be back at Madison Square Gardens. Okay. All right, so Pensilola said Diddler staying in there. Wishful thinking, beloved, but I don't think so. Thank you for your contribution to the channel, though. I appreciate you. I actually think Diddy's getting up out of there when he goes back to court. Okay, and if not, and I definitely don't think he's getting more than 31 months, as I told you all. Okay. Now, and here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention because here's the thing. Now, it has recently been reported that the prosecution now says that they're going to ask for more time. Okay. And I told you all why they do that. So they hope that they get what they really want, which is the 63 months, because they're really not going to get more than that. And they know it. Okay. They absolutely know it. And here's the thing. You see, here's how you know they know it. Because for one, the judge can go by the federal guidelines, okay, for sentencing, but he also can use his own discretion. But what the judge doesn't want to do, I'm sure, is have such a disparity in his sentencing of Diddy that it pales in comparison to other people who have been charged and convicted with the Mann Act. Okay, so he doesn't want to go above board. It's all I'm saying, because I've told you all repeatedly that the people that get 10 years or more for the Mann Act convictions, those are people who are repeat offenders or who've been having, taking minors across the state lines. Okay, so the probability of them getting more than 5 years for Diddy is absolutely very small, in my opinion. And I don't even think it's going to get 5 years. Okay, so that's for the people who are hating. Now, with that all being said, Combs has not publicly addressed any future plans. Okay, but Agnifilo's comments marked the first indication of a potential return to live entertainment for the 54-year-old artist. Now, for Combs, Madison Square Garden represents more than a venue. The iconic arena has served as a backdrop for key moments in his career, including the Bad Boy Family Reunion Tour and other headline-making performances. Now, whether that return will happen remains unclear. On Monday, Combs was denied bail for a second time. He remains in federal custody as he awaits sentencing, which is scheduled for October the 3rd. The hip-hop mogul is facing multiple federal charges connected to an ongoing investigation. Prosecutors have not confirmed whether additional charges are expected. Okay, so Combs has been mostly silent since his arrest earlier this year. His legal team has emphasized that his priorities remain with his mother, his children, and his efforts to rebuild his personal and professional life. Okay. His attorney said that he is focused on healing and has not abandoned his creative ambitions. Okay, so you all hear that? And don't forget his lawsuit with Lil Rod. Okay, they're supposed to be having that's supposed to be coming up soon. Okay, so anyway, let me know what you all think, honey. Now, in the meantime, Gina Hun has gone in because people have been giving her backlash for her writing that letter for Diddy. Some people are saying that she got paid, just saying all kinds of nonsensical things that they couldn't prove. Okay, that they don't have any proof of. Maybe she just is in love with Diddy. Okay, whoo. Gina Hun speaks out after receiving backlash for posting hashtag free Diddy. Okay, so on Monday, August the 4th, Hun took to Threads to share a brief but impactful message with her more than 32,000 followers. Subsequently, her post racked up 47 comments with noticeable backlash. Okay, one user said, "Girl, you need a mental evaluation. I followed you because as someone who's gone through what you have, I thought you would have a little more common sense, but it seems something is going on up there." The words are harsh. Another person says, "So the next time he puts his hands on you, you better not be complaining. Thought he made you lose your baby." And then, however, the backlash didn't seem to deter Hun from her stance. The following day, she returned to the platform writing, "I've never been the type of person to follow crowds and trends. I'm not a follower." Okay? She said, "You sheep. You act like I can't forgive a man I once loved. I'm not going to kick him while he's down because y'all want me to. Bitch. I don't even know you. The F? LOL, goofies. I'ma always have his back." 2 snaps and a thumbs up. Did y'all hear it? Did y'all hear it, honey? She is standing 10 toes down and she will not be deterred. Okay? I find it all so interesting. Okay? And clearly the fairest that people are choosing to go in on this young lady. Listen, if she wants to have Diddy's back, then so be it. Who are we to judge? Prince Lola said Trump will not pardon Diddy. He said he should be banished. That Gemini president. I'm just saying, girl, you know he might not. He just might not. But then again, he just may not need to, beloved. I think Diddy's getting out soon. Okay, I don't think he's going to have a huge sentence. So you probably won't need that pardon is all I'm saying. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Winter Blessing said he is absolutely being held in jail due to his race. The Abercrombie guy trafficked kids and is out on bail. Yes, I told you 1,000 times. Okay, so we all know what this is all about. If Diddy was not black, you think he'd still be sitting there? Okay, even if he whooped Cassie's arse on video? Well, he wouldn't. He absolutely would. I don't believe it because they demonize black men for the same thing that Caucasian men do. Okay, that's just how that goes. The guy from Abercrombie & Fitch is a whole lot worse than Diddy, in my opinion. Okay, what he was doing at the end of the day, and he didn't get any jail time. All right, this man got bailed real quick, and isn't he a flight risk? Okay, I don't know why they said he wasn't or thought he wasn't. So anyway, Gina Hun has since returned to Threads to double down on her remarks about Diddy, stating that she's too high vibrational for this, and even urging the public to go meditate, touch some grass, and hug some trees. Okay, for those of you who follow the spiritual channel, I'm always telling you guys that. Okay, so before hopping off the platform early on Wednesday, August the 6th, she even dropped a few City Girl lyrics. Nonetheless, social media users have reacted to her statements. Okay. Someone said her funds must be starting to run low. Somebody said, "Girl, he kicked you while you were down, literally. I really hope the blinders come off one day." Somebody else says she definitely want to be chosen. Somebody says, "I'm not going to kick him while he's down." The woman that he kicked in the stomach when she was down on the floor. Okay, then somebody says he didn't have an issue kicking you in the stomach until you miscarried, but you carry on, slowpoke. Somebody said, "Mind you, it's the same man that you said beat you, forced you to have an abortion, stopped on your stomach, and had Carisha saying she can have you on your knees barking like you want it." Somebody else says he sure kicked you when you was down, though. Somebody else says, "Girl, you came to us with a bullish and told us he kicked you while you were down." Another person says it's too much more. It's so much more than being a follower. It's the fact that this man abused you and other women horrendously. You were supposed to testify against him and didn't. And now you want him to be free while laughing in the faces of his other victims. That's what the problem is. And so with that all been said, Gina Hun reportedly dated Diddy between 2014 and 2019. Okay, and in 2019, we all know that she sat down for a two-part interview where she detailed emotional and physical abuse that she allegedly experienced during the romance. Okay, this was on Tasha K's show. Okay, Hun even alleged that she was pregnant with her child before Diddy stomped on her stomach, forcing her to miscarry. Hun was expected to testify as victim 3 in Diddy's recent trial for trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. However, she was a no-show and recently confirmed her absence from the trial, was advocating for Diddy to be released on bail after being found guilty on the prostitution charges. Ooh, honey, so what do you all say? What do you all say? Y'all think she's slow or what? What do y'all think? Wendell Blunt said Diddy is getting 10 years in federal prison for each count, 2 charges. Honey, please sit down. I promise you that's not going to happen. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Diddy is absolutely not getting 10 years for both counts. You think Diddy's about to do 20 years? For the man acts? Okay. Just remember that I laughed at you when you said it, okay? And then if he gets it, laugh at me, okay? Please do. Feel free. I mean, I'm being realistic. Some of you all are being in your emotions, and I get it. I get it. But I look at the facts and the evidence, okay? That's how that's supposed to go. And common sense and logic, okay, as well. Now, with that all being said, enough about Diddy and Gina, because clearly Diddy's going to be performing at Madison Square Garden soon, okay, as he gets out. And Gina said, y'all can stop hating on her because she said what she said. Damn it. And she's standing 10 toes down. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, let me tell you guys something. This man, this firefighter, there was a little black child in a mental crisis, a mental health crisis. And this firefighter, I swear that he called her the N-word. Okay, it sounded exactly like he said the N-word, in my opinion. So we're going to get into it. Okay, Pencillo said money and power is disrespectful with evil hearts. Absolutely, beloved. I absolutely agree. Okay, I absolutely agree. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Winter Blessing said they're emotional and they can let go. Or they can't let go. Carl Thomas. Okay. So that all been said. Now listen to this. This is also egregious. Like, I'm going to show you all the video. It's just a brief clip. But you hear him cursing at this little girl. Shut the F up. That's what he told her. North Babylon Fire Chief Peter Alt was caught on video shouting profanities at a 10-year-old girl during an emergency call. So he's a volunteer fire chief, and he's been suspended after a viral video captured him yelling profanities at a 10-year-old girl during an emergency call. Now, the incident occurred on August the 4th when North Babylon Fire Chief Peter Alt responded to a call involving a child. Now, as first responders loaded the 10-year-old into the ambulance, a concerned neighbor recorded Alt shouting at her, "Shut the F up." I'm just going to go to the video because this is absolutely egregious. Okay. And so here's the thing. The fire department came out and issued a statement after he did this. On August the 5th, a North Babylon Volunteer Fire Company announced Alt's suspension on Facebook in a post stating that an investigation was underway. An investigation for what? These people really get on my nerves when they sit up here and talk about investigations when you've seen it on the video. Okay, you've literally seen it on video. What else is there to investigate? He said what he said. Everyone that saw the video heard him. Now, here's what they say, press release. We have become aware of an incident which occurred last night, August the 4th of 2025, between a member of the North Babylon Fire Company and a minor during an aided call, okay, wherein the member is alleged to have used inappropriate language toward the minor. Okay, the member has been relieved of all of his duties pending a full and thorough investigation, whereupon appropriate action will be taken. The fire company is presently reviewing all of its training. their policies and procedures and will determine if further training with respect to responding to emergency calls is required. The fire company does not condone this behavior and it deems it unacceptable. Let me tell y'all something. Whenever these racist people come out and call us N-words or say something crazy, do something disparaging, and now they're doing it to your children, please pay attention because this really ticks me off. But it's just so interesting to me that whenever they come out and do these things, then there's people that come out and say they're investigating it and all that, and we've got to see if we need to enhance our policies and we need to do more training. Training? What the hell do you need training for? You mean to tell me this grown-ass man didn't know that he shouldn't be cursing at a child, specifically a child who's having a mental health issue? Okay? You mean to tell me he didn't know that he shouldn't have called her a racist slur? There's no amount of training for that, okay? You cannot train someone not to be racist and a piece of shite. That's what you can't do. You either are not or you are, okay? One or the other. Okay, please pay attention. Now, the girl's grandmother, who wasn't home at the time, said she was devastated by the video, said maybe it was a blessing that I wasn't there. The child had become overwhelmed after losing her phone, prompting her mother to call the police for help. Neighbors who know the family were disturbed by the incident. They say that's not how you treat people. This is what one of the neighbors named Mark Sims said. I'd be outraged if he spoke to my kids like that. Okay, then noting that the first responders have been at the home before, but never with such aggression. This child clearly has mental health issues. Okay, so she commonly, I'm sure, has these little crisis incidents where they have to call 911 because they can't contain her or whatever. And if people are annoyed easily or don't have the patience to deal with people in mental health crisis, then maybe they should not be working at the fire department, okay, or the police department, okay, or in any capacity of healthcare services, nonetheless. Now, in addition to the fire company's internal investigation, the town of Babylon is conducting its own view of the incident or its own review of the incident. Now, Chief Alt is surrounded by other first responders who don't silence him or move him away as he berates the child. Active bystandership, the subject of this popular article, why EMS needs active bystandership now. It empowers individuals to act when they see potential risk or harm. So here's the thing. That's what was interesting for me, because these other firefighters were standing there and they didn't say anything. They didn't try to stop him. They didn't try to calm him down or anything. They just stood there and let that man berate this child. Okay, that's what they did. True story. Now, hold on. I'm going to go to Tizzy T and what's this guy's name? Tizzy ENT. I'm going to go to his video first because he did a TikTok about it. Pensalota says we're hated, under attack. Yes, we're always under attack, honey. It's the sad truth of the matter, but nobody cares. Nobody cares. And sadly, even some of us don't seem to care. That's what's the sad part about it. Okay, when anybody else, something happens to them, it's all over the news. There's a national outcry in this country. Not national, but in this country, there's an outcry.
You see a 10-year-old child in crisis.
Hold on.
So you see a 10-year-old child in crisis being loaded into an ambulance, surrounded by firemen and police officers. And the voice that you're going to hear is allegedly the chief of the fire department.
Shut the fuck up! You and your fuck. Shut you now!
I'm sorry. What was that last little bit he said as he was closing the door? A lot of people speculating that he used a slur. I can't confidently say that. I've tried cleaning up the audio, and I can't confidently say that. I can say that what he said prior to that was bad enough. So if you saw that and you feel some kind of way about it, oh look, allegedly Peter Ulf, chief of the North Babylon Fire Department. There's his email. There's the general info email. There's the non-emergency phone number. You know, if you wanted to go ahead and say like, hey, I have a problem with this, that would be a healthy outlet for that.
This is Fire Chief Peter Alt speaking to a 10-year-old girl in a mental health crisis, and not one man around him stood up and said anything. And I don't know if you caught this or not, but at the very end, he called her the N-word. I am fucking disgusted. Please share this video.
Now, this is what he wrote on the caption to the video. His name is JD Milo. He says, in a shocking video that's now gone viral, West Babylon Fire Chief Peter Alt was caught on camera screaming and cursing at a 10-year-old little girl strapped on a stretcher. The child was clearly panicked, crying and begging not to be taken away. And instead of calming her down, he yelled, "Shut the F up. Shut your mouth." Like she was some kind of adult criminal. A grown man in uniform, someone trusted to protect the community, completely lost control on a little girl in crisis. What's just as disturbing, no one stopped him. Not one firefighter or emergency worker standing nearby stepped in. They all stayed silent. Okay, not one person defended the child or told the firefighter that he was wrong. They didn't. They didn't say a word. And that's what's even more disturbing. That's what's even more disturbing, that no one put him in check. Okay? People just standing there like this is all good. It's okay. Go right ahead and curse this child out and call her the N-word, because he did call her the N-word. Tizzy T said he couldn't swear by it, but I can. He said the N-word. He said, "You effing jigger." That's what he said. Okay? Now, with that all being said, it's just a darn shame. But they're investigating. Well, we'll see how that goes. I don't think much is going to come of it, but that's just my opinion. Now, let's talk about Trump for a second, because Trump is still sitting up here lying. Y'all know that's all he does on a regular basis. Okay, he's acting like he doesn't know what's going on with Ghislaine Maxwell. Trump faces Ghislaine Maxwell conundrum. President Trump is facing a Ghislaine Maxwell problem. Now, publicly releasing testimony from Maxwell, an associate of Jeffrey Epstein, who was convicted in 2021 on trafficking charges, could help satisfy Trump supporters who have clamored for more transparency around the case. Now, but further elevating Maxwell would keep the Epstein controversy front and center after Trump and top GOP leaders in the House have spent weeks trying to tamp down outrage among their own base. At the same time, Trump's comments about Maxwell have in recent days fueled allegations from Democrats that he has something to hide because of his past ties to Epstein. Trump's name reportedly appears in the Epstein files, though the president has repeatedly distanced himself from Epstein and has not been accused of any wrongdoing. I don't know why they're saying Trump has been accused of wrongdoing. He literally has. Okay. He literally has been accused of wrongdoings plenty of times. Okay. Let's talk about the lady who I spoke to you all about yesterday, who said she was 13 when Trump raped her. Okay. There's that accusation. Okay. Let's not forget the whole Stormy Daniels debacle. I'm just saying there's other people that have made accusations against Trump. But let me continue. All right. Let's not forget about the lady who said that when they were having the beauty pageant, Trump walked in there. Okay. When people didn't have all of their clothes on, they weren't fully clothed. And they said nobody does that, not even the people who work there. Okay. But anyway, I digress. So Trump has declined to rule out a pardon for Maxwell, saying only that he has the power to do it, but hasn't thought about her case. Of course he's thought about her case. That's why the DOJ is talking to her. That's why they were meeting with her. Okay, the administration raised eyebrows by moving Maxwell to a lower security prison in Texas. And Trump has continually praised Deputy Attorney Todd Blanche, his former personal attorney, for sitting down with Maxwell for interviews. He says, "I didn't discuss it with him, but anything he talked about with her, or the fact that he did that, not unusual. Number one, it's not unusual, and most importantly, it's something that would be totally above board." That's what he said about Blanche's and Maxwell's conversations. Administration officials just lying. He knows darn well he's talked to that man. Okay, he's the one that told the man to go and talk to her, in my opinion. All right, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure he is. And pretending that he didn't know that she was moved to a cushy prison. Yeah, right. Okay, so anyway, administration officials are weighing whether to publicly release some of Maxwell's testimony to Blanche. Now, the furor over the Epstein case, especially among some of Trump's vocal supporters, had engulfed the White House in recent weeks and infuriated the president, who felt it was overshadowing better headlines. Now, the outrage has died down, coinciding with the lawmakers leaving for August recess. But Maxwell's situation threatens to reignite the controversy, okay, depending on what Trump and the administration planned to do. Offering sympathy or clemency for Maxwell would invite bipartisan scrutiny, according to sources, and releasing more information could come with legal restrictions, saying there's no question they're trying to thread the needle. That's what one White House ally told The Hill. Now, CNN and Fox News reported that top administration officials, including Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Blanche, were set to join Vice President Vance at his residence on Wednesday night to discuss how to handle the ongoing Epstein saga, among other topics. Now, Vance's office pushed back on the reporting, with a spokesperson asserting that there was never a supposed meeting scheduled at the vice president's residence to discuss Epstein's strategy. Oh, I bet it is. I absolutely believe it is. Now, many Trump supporters, including some in Congress, have pushed for additional disclosures after the FBI and Justice Department last month stated Epstein did not have a client list and that his 2019 death at his New York City jail cell was an suicide. Now, some prominent Trump allies have for years promoted conspiracy theories about Epstein's death and claims that a client list would reveal ties between Epstein and prominent Democrats. Epstein accused in several cases of S-trafficking young girls, ran in high-powered circles with figures that included Trump, former President Bill Clinton, Britain's Prince Andrew, and a number of other celebrities and ultra-wealthy people. Now, House GOP leaders sent members home a day early for August recess, and this was amid a logjam created by a push among some members to release more Epstein-related files. Now, with lawmakers on recess and other issues taking over the news cycle, Trump has gotten some respite from the backlash related to Epstein. But the administration's interactions with Maxwell and Trump's own comments about her have kept interest in the case simmering. Maxwell met with Blanche over 2 days in recent weeks to share information about the Epstein case. ABC News reported that Maxwell did not say anything during the interviews that would be harmful to Trump. Well, of course not. She wants a pardon, so why would she? Okay. Now, in the wake of those interviews, Maxwell was transferred from a low-security prison in Florida to a minimum security prison in Texas. Officials did not state why that happened, but I'm sure we all can imagine why. Okay, saying I didn't know about it at all. Okay, this is what Trump says. I didn't know about it at all. No, I read about it, just like you did. It's not a very uncommon thing. Okay. Please sit down somewhere, Trump. First of all, it is not uncommon. This is true, but it is very suspect when this is right after she met with Todd Blanche, okay, on several occasions. Okay, please make it all make sense. The administration is now weighing whether to release audio or transcripts of the interview. Doing so would likely aid Trump in distancing himself from Epstein and satisfy some members of his base who would like to see more transparency. But it may also renew attention on the Epstein cases as a case as a whole, something Trump has attempted to squash. Okay, Maxwell, for her part, is asking for the Supreme Court to intervene in her case, and her attorney has said she's seeking relief from her prison sentence. Okay, now sources caution that Trump, who famously in 2020 said he wished Maxwell well, must tread carefully in how he handles her case to avoid creating an even larger controversy. They say the president wants to move on, but they may come out with something slightly more transparent, a little more meat on the bone, says a White House ally. Let me tell you all something. Ghislaine Maxwell does want a pardon, but here's the thing. She's also seeking an appeal. Okay? She's also currently seeking an appeal. So with that all being said, she's not going to give them too much. Okay, and anything that she gives them, I don't trust it because, quite frankly, I know that she's not going to say anything about Trump having anything to do with anything because why would she when she wants this man to give her a pardon? Okay, so please pay attention. It doesn't make any sense. And Trump is absolutely, in my opinion, shall I say, I think that he absolutely is responsible for her having been moved to another prison. Okay, and also let's talk about Rule 35 because here's the thing. Now, like I said, she's appealing her case, so I don't think she's going to say too much because she wants to see how it's going to go with her appeal. But also another thing is, Rule 35 basically talks about after the fact. So if someone's convicted After the fact, they can come and give testimony or information about about a case that's going to be investigated, about questions that prosecutors have. They can sit down with the feds and give more information. But here's the thing. Now, they can get some sort of, they can get rewarded for this, but it's supposed to be only if they give significant information. Okay, significant information. It has to be substantial evidence. Okay, so with that all been said, they can do this prior to, they can do this after their conviction. But here's the thing. Like I told you all days ago, Ghislaine Maxwell had ample time to do this prior to her conviction, but she didn't, which makes me feel like nothing she says is to be trusted. Okay, so like I said, the significance of the substantial assistance provided will determine what sort of benefits that she can get, if any. And we know she's going to get benefits because she's already gotten benefits. That's why she's in a much more cushy prison at the moment. Okay, Trump can sit there and lie all he wants, because I think that he's lying. He can sit there and say absolutely that he didn't know anything about it and that it happens all the time. It's very common. Okay, yeah, it is common, but very suspicious when she's just been meeting with his people. Okay, so Durrani said Queen got the imitation of that food down. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so now with that all being said, Trump's still out here trying to make people lose their jobs. Okay, now he wants the Intel CEO to resign. Okay, he wants this man to resign. He's always trying to put somebody out of a job. Just days ago, he wanted Gayle King fired. I mean, Trump is insane. Trump demands for Intel CEO Lip Bhutan's resignation over China links. Republican Senator Tom Cotton asked the chairman of Intel's board a few questions about Tan's ties to China, including his investments in the country's semiconductor companies and his connections to the military. So U.S. President Donald Trump, in a post on Truth Social, called for the immediate resignation of Intel CEO. His comments came amid what he called conflicts of interest regarding Tan's ties to China. Okay, Trump wrote on Truth Social saying, the CEO of Intel is highly conflicted and must resign immediately. There's no other solution to this problem. Thank you for your attention to this problem. Y'all hear this? This man he's a whole dictator. I'm sorry. That's exactly what Trump is. He's gotten his wish because that's all he wanted to be ever. This week, Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton, chairman of the Select Committee on Intelligence, asked the chairman of Intel's board a few questions about Tan's ties to China, including his investments. Now, in his letter, Cotton stated that Tan's associations raised questions about Intel's ability to fulfill these obligations as a responsible steward of American taxpayer dollars and to follow security regulations. Now, he also raised concerns regarding Tan's past leadership at Cadence Design Systems, Inc., as the company had pleaded guilty in July to violating U.S. export controls by selling hardware and software to China's National University of Defense Technology. Reuters had reported in April that Tan had invested in hundreds of Chinese companies, some of which have ties to the country's military. However, on Wednesday, the company said in a statement, Intel and Mr. Tan are deeply committed to the national security of the United States and the integrity of our role in the U.S. defense ecosystem. Intel stock fell 5% and pre-market trading on Thursday, right after Trump urged for the resignation of the CEO. Tan had taken over as CEO of Intel earlier this year. Okay, so Trump said, listen, you got to get up out of here because it's a whole conflict of interest. You're sitting here consorting with the enemy. Basically is what he's saying pretty much. So he wants the man to resign. Now let's talk about this new census. Trump demands new U.S. census and says non-citizens won't be counted. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, President Donald Trump is calling for a new census of American households to be conducted and for migrants who did not enter the country legally to be excluded from the count. He said, I have instructed our Department of Commerce to immediately begin work on a new and highly accurate census based on a modern-day facts and figures, and importantly, using the results and information gained from the presidential election of 2024. People who are in our country illegally will not be counted in the census. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, and he put it in all caps just so you all know, clearly emphasizing, okay? Now, the United States typically conducts a census once every decade. The government last counted residents of the United States in its 5 territories in 2020, when households could respond online for the first time. Now, the count includes foreign-born residents of the United States, including lawful permanent residents, students, refugees, and asylum seekers, and people who entered the country without permission. Okay, now the U.S. Census Bureau collects data from all foreign-born who participate in its censuses and surveys regardless of legal status. Thus, unauthorized migrants are implicitly included in the Census Bureau estimates of the total foreign-born population, according to the website. Now, the Census Bureau did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Okay, Trump said, honey, it's a new sheriff in town. Okay, that's what Trump says. It's a new sheriff in town. I want y'all to pay attention. Easy said Queen got the mouth movements down. Oh, y'all are something else. Okay, so anyway, that's it for Trump right there. I'm going to go dig up more dirt on him to report on later because y'all know I keep my heel on his neck. But in the meantime, let's talk about this quadruple murder suspect that was arrested after a whole manhunt. Okay, this is all crazy. Did you all hear about this? Okay, did you all hear about this? And oh, don't let me forget. I have to show you all this video of this this cop, Arizona cop, threatening a black man at his own house and telling him about how he's not raising his child right. And the child, mind you, is only 5 years old. Okay, we're going to show that too. Honey, I got news today. Please pay attention. So with that all being said, let's go to this report about this whole thug who killed 4 people and then went on the run, honey. Now, this is a report from NBC. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Welcome to NBC News Daily this Tuesday. We're going to start with breaking news. Quadruple murder suspect Austin Drummond is in custody after an intense days-long manhunt in Tennessee.
So Vicki, Drummond was wanted for the killings of 4 people, all members of the same family. A baby also related to the victims was found alive and abandoned in a nearby front yard. This all happening a week ago in a wooded area north of Memphis.
Drummond faces 4 counts of first-degree murder and aggravated kidnapping, as well as a number of firearms-related charges. Investigators say the suspect had a close relationship with the victims, with one relative saying Drummond was, quote, nothing short of amazing to us.
Wow, NBC News correspondent Priscilla Thompson joining us now. Priscilla, no doubt a tense night for those who were sheltering in place. How were authorities finally able to track him down?
Yeah, Sam, Vicki, definitely a tense night for those folks out in Nashville, Tennessee, where this suspect had last been spotted. And we know that U.S. Marshals did take the 28-year-old into custody this morning. And a lot of it probably had to do with this surveillance video that was released on Sunday, where the suspect was seen in the Nashville area in a camo jacket with a rifle. It seemed like he was trying to enter a building, but obviously police were paying very close attention to that surveillance video. And here we are now on Tuesday with them having captured this suspect, but certainly tense for the people living in that area who were told to be on high alert, lock their doors, lock their windows as this suspect was in the area. And that's because he is accused of killing 4 people. Matthew Wilson, a 21-year-old, Adriana Williams, 20 years old, Courtney Rose, 38 years old, and the youngest, Braden Williams, just 15. But as you all mentioned, he did appear to save that infant baby, leaving that baby about 40 miles away from where those other bodies were recovered. Now, police have not yet said how these 4 people died, or, of course, the big question, the motive, why this happened. But with this suspect now in custody, it appears that we may begin to get more information about that, as police are saying they do not believe that this was a random attack, but that it was, in fact, targeted.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories.
Okay, so that's all so nefarious at the end of the day. Prayers for the family. Okay, Alejandro, thank you for your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Jeff ATL asking me, why is it echoing? And beloved, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out later, hopefully. Okay, so let's go to this other video because, yeah, he didn't kill the baby, Leon. He didn't kill the baby. Thank God for that. I wonder why he killed any of them. Now, this is where when they found the baby.
An infant was found alive Tuesday, nearly 40 miles from where the bodies of the girl's parents, grandmother, and uncle were found.
Survived the mother of the baby. They found their vehicle at 6:20 Carrington.
Investigators from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation are looking for 28-year-old Austin Robert Drummond. He's wanted in connection with the deaths of 21-year-old James M. Wilson, 20-year-old Adriana Williams, 38-year-old Courtney Rose, and 15-year-old Braden Williams. Investigators believe the suspect knew the victims.
We are dealing with an extremely violent individual.
The four were found dead in Tiptonville hours after the baby of James and Adriana was found in a car seat in the front yard of a home near the Dyer County community of Tigrit. At the time, the heat index was 116 degrees, but authorities were called shortly after the baby was abandoned. Drummond is wanted on charges including murder, kidnapping, and multiple firearm offenses.
We do need the community to be very careful. We do not need them to try to approach this person.
So far, investigators haven't revealed a motive for the crimes, how police came to suspect him, or why the baby was left a county away from her home.
Our heart goes out to the family. It goes out to the family that's going to be dealing with the child and raising a child that has lost both parents now.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Prime suspect, Austin Drummond. There's a reward of more than $17,000 for information leading to his arrest, but he is considered armed and extremely dangerous, especially because of his violent past. He served over a decade in prison for armed robbery and had several offenses while locked up.
Courtney Rose, Adriana Williams, Braden Williams, James Matthew Wilson. Their names deserve to be spoken. Their lives deserve to be remembered. And their families deserve justice.
4 victims, the baby's mother, father, grandmother, and uncle are dead. Their accused killer, Austin Drummond, spent a week on the run. He was
spotted in Jackson Sunday night carrying a rifle. Now, though, the threat.
Okay, so that's very sad. He took those people were young too. They looked very young and he took their lives. Just low down and dirty. Okay, low down and dirty. Like I said, prayers and condolences to the families, friends, and loved ones of the victims. That is so sad. Okay, so now let's talk about this other story because this cop really was talking slick to this black man for no reason. Okay, at my two love says, Queen, I know no one is recognizing my name, but are my cash apps coming through? This is Andrea Jones. Please let me know. Yes, beloved. Thank you. And I appreciate you. Okay. Peace, love, and blessings. You know, so they're supposedly, it looks like they changed the names back. At least some of them, I guess. Someone told me when I questioned them about this, they said, as a matter of fact, it was Lisa Cabrera. My dear sister Lisa Cabrera said that they have been changing the names because they're updating the system or something like that. And so they're doing like so many channels at a time. Okay, so if your name hasn't been corrected back to the normal way that you have it in the chat, it should be soon. Okay, now let's talk about this because this is all crazy. Okay, so a video that surfaced on YouTube shows an Arizona cop with his foot planted in the front door of a black man's apartment, threatening to arrest him over allegations made by his neighbor. Now, the video also indicates the black man's 5-year-old daughter crying and panicking off camera, okay, before her father was about to be arrested by the Flagstaff police officer. You're already scaring her. This is what the concerned father told the officer. Here's the thing. I'm going to go to the video, but here's the thing. You cannot arrest somebody, okay, just for some accusations. Okay, you got to have some proof. Okay, please sit down somewhere, sir. If I was that man, I wouldn't even have opened my darn door. Like, don't come back until you have a warrant. That's what I would have told. That's how that would have gone. Don't come back until you have a warrant. Okay, please pay attention. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that printed on some of my new t-shirts. Okay, come back when you have a warrant. Till then, have a seat.
Hey, listen to me. Please don't touch my daughter. You're already scaring her. Reading the remainder life. Because right now you're being detained lawfully. Why am I being detained? I told you you're being detained. suspicion of disorderly conduct. You can't simply just come, put your foot in my door, and I'm asking you, listen. Investigating disorderly conduct with disruptive behavior. The problem that I have right now is if I can't talk to you about this, then I can cite you off of one side of a story. Okay, like Jide, don't do that. If she touches me again like that actually hurt, you'll have problems. She needs to understand. I understand, but you didn't stop her from doing it. But listen. Did you? You can't sit here and say that you just like I could. But listen, no, I did not teach you to do this. But you just did not teach her not to.
I want you all to pay attention. He sounds so ridiculous. Okay, did you all hear that? Talking about you did not teach her to respect authority. First of all, she's 5 years old. Okay, she's 5 years old. And I just have, I mean, that just really irks my nerves. You know, it reminds me of that low down racist cop who showed up when the black woman called because her son, who was 7, you all remember this about 6 years or so ago? Her 7-year-old son was outside and threw a piece of paper on the floor, on the ground. And so the man who was working next door, he didn't even live in the neighborhood. He was just doing some work for a neighbor. And he grabbed the little boy by the throat and shook him, according to the little boy. So when he went and told his mother, of course, she comes and confronts the man and she calls the police. When the white officer showed up, he had took the side of the white man who choked the little boy and basically told her, well, you should raise your child not to litter. That's what he told her. You should raise your child not to litter. And he ended up arresting the woman and her 15-year-old daughter because they were talking smack to him about what he said. That's how that went. He didn't arrest the man at all for putting hands on that child. Then later they came back. They had other cops come back and they arrested the man. But I'm just telling you, this is how it goes. Okay, this is how it goes. I mean, it's the nerve of it all for me. It's the nerve of it all for me. So anyway, they go on to say in this article, the video was posted to the Police Accountability YouTube channel, okay, on Saturday without mention of the date it occurred by Flagstaff Police. But Flagstaff Police told Atlanta Black Star the incident took place in July of 2022, resulting in no arrest. But even though the video is dated, it has raised the question as to whether police have the right to plant their foot in the doorway to prevent somebody from closing. Now, you don't have no right to plant your damn foot in my door unless you got a warrant. If you got a warrant, you won't even have to plant your foot because I'll just let you in. But if you don't have a warrant, like, get the fuck out of here, okay? Please, miss me with it. Okay, excuse my language, but this type of stuff just ticks me off because they bully Black people all the time. That's what they do. Okay, so anyway, a routine practice that we've seen cops do on dozens of videos over the years. Yeah, specifically to people who look like me. Now, the Black man said that he had no right to do that, but the cop insisted he did have a right, claiming officer safety. Excuse me, officer safety for you to put your foot in my door to keep me from closing it, sir? Please make that make sense, okay? Okay, please make that make sense. Like I said, I wouldn't have opened my damn door. He'd have knocked on it out and looked at the people and I said, sir, come back when you have a warrant. And that'd have been the end of that. So with that all being said, know your rights is all I'm saying. So when an officer is investigating, this is what the cop says. So when an officer is investigating a crime, they have a right to hold the door open. No, the hell you don't, unless you got a warrant. Okay, that's what he said. And he even read the man his Miranda warning. And so who's right? Well, according to Mike Mandel, an attorney who runs the YouTube channel, cops called Law by Mike. Cops do have the right to plant their foot in the door, but they're not allowed to enter the home without a warrant. Like I said, you don't even have a right to plant your foot in the door unless you got a warrant. That's how that goes. I beg to differ with this attorney. Says even if they don't have a warrant, slamming a door on a cop's foot could actually get you charged with assaulting the officer. Well, we know that. We know that if you slam the door on their foot once they plant it there, you're the one that's going to get in trouble. That's why they do it, which is exactly why I wouldn't have opened my damn door. But let me continue. So instead of slamming your door, take a step back further into your home. Yeah, that's a good idea. And then don't answer any of their questions. Tell them I plead the fifth. I'm not saying anything until my attorney shows up. What next? Okay, that's what I would have told him. Okay, they may still come in, but now they have to decide between justified entering your home without a warrant or just leaving. Okay, Mandel said the best thing to do is not open the door in the first place. Like I said, okay, always ask first, got a warrant? But the black man did open the door, which led to the cop planting his foot in the door, threatening to arrest him for disorderly conduct. Allegations the black man clearly denied. Says, I'm investigating disorderly conduct with disruptive behavior, the cop told him. Okay. Now that you guys have been arguing verbally and that she had her window open and that you stood outside and stared at her through the window. If I can't talk to you about this, then I can cite you off of one side of the story. The 23-minute video shows the cop and the man debating the law, but ultimately the cop decides not to arrest him. At this point, the video has received 376 comments, with most people saying the man should have never opened the door in the first place, and many complimenting the little girl for hitting the cop. They said they complimented her for hitting the cop. Somebody said, kid is born with strong instincts, immediately identified a predator. Somebody else said there was no exigent circumstances. Okay, and then somebody said nothing happened within his presence. There is zero validity to what he's doing. Also, crossing the threshold minus exigent circumstances and warrant is a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment. Then they say, fortunately, the altercation did not result in anybody's arrest, but the video may serve as a lesson for citizens if they ever find themselves in that situation. Okay, Flagstaff police told Atlanta Black Star to file a formal public records request to obtain more information. Okay, but that could take days to fulfill. So, like I said, honey, he was just doing the most. Okay, I mean, it's a nerve of it all for me. I'm in my house and you think you're going to stick your foot in my door to keep me close? Nah, how about I just don't come to the door? Okay, that's what I won't do. I just won't let your arse in. Okay, come back when you have a warrant. Period. Don't ask me anything because I'm not answering until my attorney's present. That's how it all goes. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. Now, here's the thing. Let me just remind you all the story that I told you all yesterday. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, yeah. So with that all been said, you all remember the story that I told you all on yesterday about the hate crime on the black teenager. Y'all remember that? It was one of the many things that I reported on yesterday. So, one of those teens, as I told you then, one of the teens' fathers is a police officer. Now, with that all being said, what I find interesting is that there's a video, which I just shared on X this morning, of hold on, it looks like they're having a town hall meeting or something. And there's another teenager who proceeds to play a video or plays the audio of the cop's son threatening that teenager after they've already jumped him. Okay, this is a police officer's child. So I'm going to go to that video. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. I mean, I just find this all so very interesting. And then I'm going to show you the pictures of the little devils who were all involved in this, because we couldn't really see the video yesterday. Okay, we couldn't really see the video yesterday. They had to blur it out because they were fighting or whatever. Okay.
This shouldn't even be an argument, for real. It really shouldn't. Because we got Jonah Collato's son.
Cuz, please, like your niggas
We got, hey.
begging for a please, nigga. You's a mark ass nigga on me, so just to let you know, cuz, ever try and threaten me again, nigga, I'll fucking murder you, nigga. You ain't gonna do a damn thing, cuz, you ain't gonna
Hey, Officer Collado. Officer Collado. Hey, this your son, and this morning. This is this morning. This morning. This fucking morning.
Okay,
I just want to say,
and
ain't no skin color.
We don't allow
ain't no skin color.
Please, thank you.
Ain't no skin color. We're human. Ain't no skin color. Fuck a skin color. Ain't no skin color.
Watch your language,
We're
please.
human. We're human. And that kid he's a kid. And like they saying, if it was a black person, if it was black people jumping on a white person for doing nothing, saying please, saying begging to run away, getting all beat on, what's gonna happen? These people weren't arrested. SVPD lied to the public. SVPD lied to the public. These people weren't arrested. They turned themselves in. You want to know how I know? Because I got the attackers' information right. They texted me. The attackers texted me. Hayden Davey, Nathan Elkins, Maddox Westfall texting me. They turned themselves in yesterday. They turned themselves in. They got cited and released. They didn't get arrested like SVPD saying. Why y'all?
Yes, and I want you all to pay attention because this is the preferential treatment, the entitlement of it all. Okay, they can commit a whole hate crime. They haven't been charged with a hate crime. Okay, we all saw it yesterday, the report. They were not charged with a hate crime as they should have been. And then they lied. The police department clearly lied and said they were arrested. They were not. They were allowed to come and turn themselves in and just simply cited. Okay, didn't even stay in jail.
Lying to the public.
Please keep it quiet out there.
Hey, I just want to say, if Simi Valley don't do its justice, then the streets is, and that's when shit gonna get serious, right? Because then you're gonna put us in cuffs. Then we gonna take accountability for all that shit, all that bullshit. So listen, fuck his skin color and do the right thing.
No more cussing, please. Thank you.
Honey, he's not thinking about her. He's steady cursing. Okay, please pay attention. He told him street justice. That's what he said. And here they go right here, the little thugs. Hold on. Here they go right here, the little thugs. You see them? And Michael suffered a concussion, by the way. Okay, there's no outrage for this. It's a whole hate crime. A racist group of white males beat a black teenager while screaming racial slurs in a Regal Cinemas parking lot, Simi Valley, California. Witnesses say one of the violent white thugs was Jonah Collado, who is the son of local police officer Gene Collado. Michael, the victim, suffered a concussion, a chipped tooth, and other injuries. Michael, who was beaten by a mob of white males, deserves justice. Look at these thugs. Why aren't they calling them animals? Because that's what they are. That's what they acted and behaved like. Why aren't they calling them out? Okay, like they did the black people down there in Cincinnati who were simply protecting and defending themselves from an attack. All right? Fusion said that name sounds Italian. Now, yeah, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. Okay, so I want you all to pay attention. Buckhorse says, where's our anti-black hate crime bill? Honey, never. They're never going to give us one. Okay, they're never going to give us one. That's how that goes. But I wanted you all to see that, okay? Because it's just so ridiculous. These are the things they do. These are the things they do. And let me just show you all something else, too, while I'm thinking about it before I roll up out of here. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, because here is something else. You know how they always lie about history? These racist people, they always lie about history and all of that. Let me show you all something, because, honey, they are so mad about this. Okay, I mean, but, hey, you're going to have to stay mad because the truth always comes out. Now, listen. So there was the unearthing of a statue of an Egyptian pharaoh. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. Because here's the thing. Some people are mad and butthurt and been out of shape clearly because of this right here. And they're saying, oh, that's AI. That's not true. Which I find all interesting. Y'all see this? Look at there. Y'all see that, right? This has been recently discovered. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. This is an Egyptian pharaoh statue of him. And it's so obvious that he's black. Look at the nose. Look at those lips. You see the lies continue to become unraveled. It is in pretty good condition too. Y'all see that, right? So the thing is, when this came out days ago, when this was posted, you know, some people said, oh, that's fake. That's AI. Ha! Still trying to deny the truth when it's standing right in their faces, okay? It is absolutely not a lie. It is, in fact, absolutely the truth. But, you know, some people don't want to accept the truth for what it is. But here's the thing. Let me just go to this really quick. Because AI there is a lot of AI stuff that comes out, and that's why AI to me is dangerous, because they can use it to mix lies with the truth and to dispute things. But here's the truth of the matter. Okay, I typed it in. Was there an ancient pharaoh recently found in Ahmadiyyah? In the sands of Ahmadiyyah was where it was actually found. It says yes. A significant archaeological discovery related to an ancient Egyptian pharaoh was made in Ahmadiyyah, which is a district of Cairo, in 2017. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. The statue was made with quartzite, okay, was found submerged in groundwater near the ruins of Ramses II's temple in the ancient city of Heliopolis. This area, now Ahmadiyyah, was a crucial religious center in ancient Egypt. In addition to the colossal statue, a bust of Pharaoh Seti II, Ramses II's grandson, was or Pharaoh Seti II, Ramses II's grandson, was also discovered at the site. The finds underscore the rich historical significance of the Heliopolis and continue to shed light on ancient Egyptian civilization. Okay, so I just want you all to pay attention. Sitting up there lying. Oh, it's AI. Oh, it's not real. That's what one of the people that don't look like me told this black guy who was posting about it, and then said, you know, the fact that that's AI just makes you look like you're not very intelligent. Well, here's the thing. I replied to him and said, sir, the fact that you're trying to make people think it's AI when it's really real and all you had to do was Google it, you didn't even have to do deep dive and research, lets me know that you are absolutely unintelligent. Okay, please pay attention. All right, so with that all being said, another day, another hate crime, okay, goes unchecked. They sat up there and lied and said they arrested those teens, and they didn't arrest them. And I told you all that yesterday. I said nothing's going to be done to that cop, son. I already knew that, okay? I already knew that. Breezy wants me to show it again. Sure. Hold on, beloved. And before you guys leave, please make sure you like the video. I know sometimes you forget, but please make sure you like and share the video. Thank you in advance. Okay, there you go. Clearly a black man. Okay, no doubt about it. Okay, clearly of African descent. And we all know Egypt's in Africa. So the fact that people try to fool us into thinking that the real Egyptians are not heavily drenched in melanin, it's just absolutely crazy to me. Okay, absolutely crazy. All right, so anyway, with that all being said, everyone please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, and with that all being said, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Listen, first of all, before I say that, I am going to be back later on, you all. I'm going to be back later on today, probably around 7. Okay, probably around 7. I usually would like to come at 6, but 6 gets here too quick. Okay, so I'll probably come back around 7 o'clock this evening, okay, with more information. Okay, so and also, if you all have any, I want to remind you guys that if you have any information or any stories that you would like for me to report on True Crime Sundays, make sure that you send to my email, QueenAhmadiyyah@gmail.com, okay? So with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Sold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got